Hey oddballs, it's Amy and welcome back to my channel. I'm home, obviously, you can see that. But I'm back from my holiday. I went away last week to Greece. It was so much fun, so great, so much of just a relax and chill. That's why I didn't take my vlogging camera, because I just thought we were there for 3 days. I just planned on napping and eating the entire time, which, to be fair, pretty much succeeded on that front, but I didn't expect that there'd be anything super exciting to vlog about. Boy, was I wrong. So now I have a very interesting story time video for you guys about the creepiest man I have ever met. That means a lot coming from me because I seem to attract the crazies. If there is a creepy person within a 10-mile radius, they will just want to befriend me, and it's very strange. But this guy... So let me set the scene for you so you get an idea. We can visualize it together. So the hotel we stayed at was a really nice, quiet, small, family-run hotel, and it was small, it was intimate, and the pool was pretty small as well. There were only 30 sunbeds around the pool, but for the most time there was pretty much no one around it. It was very quiet. So on the last day that we were there, my mum and I had set out our stuff on our sunbeds, and it was just us, and then on the other side of the pool there was this young Irish couple. So 4 people around the whole pool. So my mum and I got up to go and take a dip in the pool to cool off for a little while, and all of a sudden this guy behind me is like, "Excuse me, do you mind if I take this sunbed next to you?" Which I thought was a little bit strange, because there were literally 26 sunbeds around the pool. Why do you want to take the one right next to us? And B, annoying, because I just like my personal space. But it's a free country, so I was like, yeah, that's fine, go ahead. You know, live your life. So my mum and I got in the pool, we had a little bit of a chat, a little bit of a cool off, and inevitably our conversation came around to our new sunbed friend, who had a very strong accent, but neither of us could place where he was from. And as I looked over at him, he was sunbathing in his lace-up shoes and socks that were pulled up above his ankles, which is an odd choice, right? It's a free life, so do what you want, but it does give off an odd vibe, and everything about him gave off an odd vibe to me. So my mum got back out of the pool and went to sit on her sunbed. My sunbed, lucky me, was in the middle of my mum's sunbed and our mysterious shoe-wearing friend. And so I decided that I was just going to stay in the pool because I didn't want to have to get up and kind of lay down next to a stranger. Like, within this much, our sunbeds were that close together. So I was thinking to myself, okay, how can I get out of the pool and kind of move my stuff away from this guy without seeming really rude? I'm just so obsessed with not offending people, which you will see is the theme of this story and is something that I clearly need to work on. So I had this whole plan concocted in my head. I thought, okay, I'll get up, grab the stuff, put up the sun umbrella, and then it will look like I'm moving so I can go and sit in the shade. Genius. But as I'm just like in the pool minding my own business, this guy like shouts over to me, "How are you?" And I didn't think he was talking to me at first because I was like nowhere near him. But then it became very obvious that he was staring at me and waiting for me to answer. So I was, you know, taken aback, but said, "Good, thanks, you," because that's the polite response when someone asks you how you are. And then he just started striking up small talk with me across the pool and kind of hollering over at me. So at which point I was like, okay, A, now if I move away from him, it's gonna seem even more rude because he's talking to me, and B, I'm actually gonna have to get out of the pool because we can't keep shouting over at each other. It's just weird. So I begrudgingly get out of the pool, go and sit down on my sunbed, and this guy is kind of chatting to me, asking me who I am, where I'm from, and he tells me his name is Max, he's from Latvia, he's a student, he does public relations, but he does hip-hop on the side. Which was, like, if you saw this guy, you would not think, oh yeah, hip-hop, that definitely makes sense in my mind. No, he didn't look like a hip-hopper. you know? It's all very well and good. Maybe he just wanted a friend. I didn't want to be that friend, but I had inadvertently become that friend, it seemed. But then the next thing he said to me was, I really like the way your body looks. To me, that is a strange and somewhat inappropriate thing to say to a complete stranger. But I was also aware that there could be kind of a culture clash going on. You know, when you go to Italy, like the baker will just tell you, hey, you're the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. And that's not weird. That's completely normal in that context. So I was like, okay, maybe in Latvia you can say things like that and it's not strange. So I just gave him the most awkward, thanks. And then went on with my sunbathing. But he wasn't done. Oh no. Next, he like pokes me to get my attention and he's like, would you like a free massage? I'm not joking, guys. I'm not joking. This is literally how it played out. Those were his words. Would you like a free massage? So I politely declined. So then I decided to try and like cut the conversation short and like show, hey, let's not talk anymore, maybe, okay? So I put my sunglasses on and I like turned my head this way to like show like, hey, I'm taking a nap now. I'm not really up for socializing anymore. And then all of a sudden, he just reached over and held my hand. You know when you're like, is this even real life right now? What is going on? So I sat up. I didn't know what to say. What do you say to that? I sat up and I looked over at him. He just looked cool as a cucumber over at me and he was like, is this okay? No, this is not okay. And then I physically turned myself this way to talk to my mum and kind of give her eyes like, hey, this crazy creepy Latvian guy is holding my hand, offering me massages, what's going on? And just started generally talking to her so that he wouldn't be able to talk to me. But then I get another tap on the shoulder, what do you know? And I turn around. I'm starting to feel a little bit nauseous at this point because the creepiness is overwhelming. So turn back to my friend Max, the Latvian hip hopper. A part-time masseuse, apparently. And he says, I have a secret. I like to wear women's underwear. What do you even say to that? I have no idea what the appropriate response is when a complete stranger tells you that he likes to wear women's underwear. But I couldn't think of one, so I just stared at him open-mouthed and panic-stricken. It probably looked something a little bit like this. And then he just looked at me and he was like, is that okay? Again, I don't know what kind of response he was looking for when he said that, but all I could really offer was a kind of general, hey man, just like, you do you, live your life, do what makes you happy, and then promptly turn back to talk to my mum again. At which point, Max, the female underwear wearing hip hopper from Latvia, gets up out of his seat and like wanders over to the other side of the pool, and I thought that that's where our friendship was gonna end, and I just like breathed an outward sigh of relief. But oh no, he came back. And boy, did he come back. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna move. And then all of a sudden he turns to me again, and what he says I am not going to repeat because it was vulgar, it was hella inappropriate, and I can't even repeat it to you. I just can't. But know that the thought of it now, of the thought of this creepy ass man saying this to me on my sun lounger, makes me want to be sick into my own mouth, okay? Just know that. You know when the doctor tests your reflexes and he like knocks your knee with that little hammer and your foot kicks out? That is what my body did in response to what this man said, because I had no control over what came out of my mouth. I just kind of like half shrieked, half fearfully cried, no, stop talking to me, which alerted, I think, the attention of all the people who were around the pool, and for definite my mother, who couldn't really hear what was going on between us. But at this point, she knew if I'd raised my voice in disgust at someone, for me, that's a big deal. Like, it's gone too far. And so she turned around and she was like, you need to leave now. And he got straight up and he got out of there so quickly. One thing that I forgot to mention, which adds to the overall picture of this guy you need to know, is that at first from a distance it looked like he was wearing teeny tiny swim shorts, which The Speedo era has long gone in Britain, but in some parts of the world it's still a thing. But actually, he was just wearing his pants. So he was sunbathing in his underwear, his pants, lace-up shoes and socks. This is the man who offered me a free massage and held my hand. We later found out that when he'd gone over to the other side of the pool, he'd gone and sat down next to the Irish girl when her boyfriend had got up and gone to the bar. And I asked, like, what did he say to you? And she said, well, it was really weird. He offered me a massage and told me that he liked to wear girls' underwear. Clearly, these are his go-to pickup lines. Don't know if that's ever worked for him before, but I guess takes all kinds of people to make the world. Why do these things always happen to me? Of all people, I feel like I am the least equipped to deal with this kind of thing because I don't know what to say when people are weird like that. I just don't know. And I always want to be polite. I never want to offend anyone. But sometimes you have got to kind of draw a line and say, it's more important that I don't put myself in an uncomfortable situation than it is that I don't like mildly offend a complete stranger, you know? So I need to kind of be a bit more assertive and think of myself first. I hope you guys enjoyed this story time video. It was weird. I had to share it because this is my life. If you did enjoy this video, let me know by giving it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, then please go ahead, click that subscribe button to become a member of our Oddball family. I love all my oddballs so much, and thank you all for watching. Until next time, I will see you all soon. Bye!